everyone, and welcome to the channel. So today we get to take a look at the 2023 BMW M4 CSL. CSL stands for Competition Sports Lightweight. This model is finished off in Alpine White, and they have a starting MSRP of $140,000. Huge shout out to 704 Exotics for providing this vehicle for me today. Check out their website. They're always getting in some awesome, pretty much brand new inventory. That link is down in the description. So this M4 is based off of the M4 Competition. So underneath the hood, it utilizes the 3-liter inline 6-cylinder twin turbo that's paired to the 8-speed automatic transmission. Boost has been increased by 24%. So this pumps out 543 horsepower, the same 479 pound-feet of torque. However, the CSL weighs 240 pounds lighter than a normal M4 Competition. That power is sent through the xDrive all-wheel drive system. It weighs in closer to 3,600 pounds. 0 to 60 is 3.3 seconds. Top speed is 191 miles an hour. It also has a fuel capacity of 15.6 gallons. You'll expect to see around 16 miles per gallon in the city, 23 out on the highway. This also has a wheelbase of 112.5 inches. Its overall length is 188.7. It has a width of 74.3 and a height of 54.8 inches. As we move on to the exterior styling for this M4 CSL, this is basically the track-focused version of the M4. So we have a lot of lightweight components, as I already mentioned, with its lighter overall curb weight, and we have a lot of awesome exterior and interior features to go over. So starting up front, we have the BMW 50 years badge, which is front and center, along with the M4 CLS logo. What I really like is that everything is lined in the red trim accent. So for the massive kidney grille, it blends in very nicely, or it's a great accent with this Alpine white. There are no obstructions to the front engine components, so it will provide a lot of cooling both in the grille and the carbon fiber inlets on both sides, and even the far air inlets. Now this does have some creature comforts like the parking sensors up front and a massive carbon fiber front splitter that goes all the way across, of course, giving it a very unique design. Now this also has LED headlights, DRLs, and turn signals, so you can use this at nighttime. You can track this at night if you want. And then for the hood, more of the dark red and carbon fiber or carbon composite material that is visual in the upper section. I believe that's what the hood is made out of. It has to be a lighter weight material like that, as you can tell from the underside of it. But the stripes look very nice within those indentions running down the hood. Now, as we work our way to the side, this sits about a ½ inch lower than an M4 Competition. We have a staggered setup for the wheels with 19 inches up front, 20 inches in the rear, with a multi-spoke design to them, finished off in a dark gray. This also has the red M Sport brake calipers. You can opt for the carbon ceramic disc brakes as well. The M4 badge is just behind that, just like you would see on a competition model. And then the lower side skirt is finished off in gloss black with more of that red stripe. Would be cool to see that carbon fiber just like up front. It would match the power folding side mirrors very nicely with the carbon fiber integrated turn signal. More carbon fiber for the roof as well as the stripes. On the driver's side, there's the M4 CSL badge. Even the shark fin antenna for some of those daily driving characteristics. Has a very nice design to it, just like every other M4. And as we work our way to the rear, M4 CLS with the red backing, LED taillights, carbon fiber for that lower diffuser. This does have a backup camera with all the sensors. I like that the camera is included in that badge, so it's nicely hidden out of the way. And then that quad tip dual exhaust. You'll also notice too that the top of the trunk actually has part of a spoiler, kind of a duckbill spoiler, integrated into the trunk itself, which is a nice design. But with the exterior wrapped up, let's take a look at some of the practicality aspects for this track-focused M4. The back seats, which are non-existent, do not fold down. There's no storage underneath the floor either. But as you can tell, I mean, you could go to the grocery store in this, you can place in some bags, take it to the track, and have all of your items and equipment with you for the day. So it's still practical in that aspect. No power trunk though. We have more of that carbon fiber or composite material. So it is very lightweight, obviously. And now as we work our way to the interior, you can lock and unlock this just like every other M4. And before we get to these seats, door panel has a great look to it with all the leather, the contrast stitching. There is a trunk release, a little bit of storage. We have some brushed aluminum accents and your window and side mirror adjustments. Now, this particular CLS has the fixed carbon fiber bucket seats. You can also opt to go with the adjustable ones, but here are the fixed seats with the red and black leather, all of the carbon fiber. CSL is down on the side. They do move forwards and backwards, so you have that adjustability. And the seatbelts have the BMW color stitched on them. What a fantastic seat. And like I mentioned earlier, rear seat delete. So you get a CSL badge, you get a storage net for any items you want to place in the back. So you have some practicality, you have less usable interior space. It's only a 2-seater now, but the two of you can bring whatever items that you want with you for the day. M4 CSL is also down on the door sill. And then before we jump into the interior, let's talk about all of the weight savings that this CLS provides, or CSL provides. So along with the seats, we have the no rear seats, saves 46 pounds. If you get the carbon fiber seats like this model has, that saves 52 pounds. Now, if you go with the adjustable carbon fiber seats, add back 32 pounds to that. This has carbon fiber reinforced plastics everywhere, saves about 10 pounds for the interior. And then the lightweight suspension and all of the components underneath saves about 45 pounds. So let's jump our way into these fixed seats. They have massive supports on both sides. So once I hop in here, we can move on to the steering wheel. It's Alcantara, of course, with the M badge down below, more carbon fiber, massive carbon fiber paddle shifters, M1 and M2. I don't know why you would want to change the settings, but maybe you can go to a little bit more comfort on your way home from the track after you've been in track mode all day. Cruise control is on the left side, which is nice. Right side, you have tuning, volume, Bluetooth controls, as well as one for the gauge cluster. So let's fire up this CSL and we can take a listen to that exhaust. And looking at the gauge cluster, over on the left side is the fuel level and miles per hour. On the right side, there's the tach along with the engine temperature, and there's some more information within that tach. So all you need to do is use this button on the top of the turn signal stalk, where currently there's some data information. You can also pull up your TPMS and temperature for your tires, so you can monitor those when you get to the track. There's other vitals to pull up, even live readouts for horsepower and torque. So those will adjust, of course, as I give the vehicle some gas. There's a G-force meter, your audio that you can pull up, even the different driving modes. So just by toggling between M1 and M2, you can completely change the settings that you are in. So efficiency now is a little bit more laid back on your way home from the track, and then M2 you can have set up for when you are ready for those track focused situations. Now you can also pull up what gear the vehicle is in, so it's really nice to have that amount of usable information. There's also a red stripe at the top of the steering wheel. Over on the left side, there is a little bit of a storage bin. You could place all of your track times and slips in there if you'd like to keep track of them. All of the headlight adjustments, even the interior lighting, along with brushed aluminum surrounding that air vent. This also has a head-up display. Currently it's showing miles per hour and the speed limit sign, and you can actually change that by using M mode. So if I push on M mode, now the gauge cluster will change. What gear you're in is right in the middle, along with your speed and the tach on both sides. And now the head-up display shows the entire tach, which is really nice. Now if I push on M mode again, you can also go into sport mode, which is what we just did, and then track mode just by holding down on M mode. So once I do that, now we can activate track. It will shut off that screen. It will give you some more vitals in the middle for everything that you need to go through. So it's really cool, just depending on how you're driving this, of course. Now for the infotainment system, this is the previous year from BMW. We don't have the one continuous screen, but there's still some good information like navigation, so you can find your way to the track, your media, phone, you have your setup, engine and tire data, and then a few other settings as well. On this left side, there's shortcuts to audio. You can get into your phone, along with your navigation, of course. If you go into car now, I am going to use the rotary dial down below now, where there's other shortcuts to go through this info. I'm going to start at the top with driving information. You can look at your trip data or even your sport display, so you can pull up all of this information, which is nice to monitor. Under M menu, this is how you can configure M1 and M2. So you can have those set up all ready to go. You can adjust your head-up display too. There's vehicle status, so you can monitor all of those vitals, look at different settings to go into from your lighting, your displays, even the climate adjustments. And then you have driver profiles and the owner's manual. The last one under apps, this does have Apple CarPlay and Android Auto and some other apps that you can use as needed. So it's still a really good system to use, especially for a track-focused car like this. You have some daily driving characteristics. Now underneath that, we do have this shortcut right here for the intelligent safety. Interesting to see that because you really don't need all of this information, but driving, of course, on the streets, it's nice to have all of that. Now there's air vents underneath that, all of the climate adjustments. We do not have heated seats, which is why these outer ones are blank, but we have recirc and defrosters and things like that. Now underneath that, power and volume for the radio, tuning. We have more carbon fiber surrounding everything running in the middle. This does get wireless charging, a little bit of storage and an auxiliary there. And then on the left side of the shifter, there's traction control, parking sensors, even the engine start stop feature, so you can save all that fuel for the track. Let's put this into reverse now, where this has the backup camera, and that is pretty much it. You have parking sensors only, so at least that is a helpful view to have. Drive and sport mode are to the right, so you can use those paddles. And then on the back side is park and the ability to change the transmission shift points. So basically, if you wanted to react slower or quicker, you have 3 different settings. Now also on this left side, there's the exhaust note button along with a setup, auto hold, and the e-brake. There's more carbon fiber in the middle along with an auxiliary. You have more leather and stitching, and then a look at the non-existent back seats with the amount of space that you have back there. More carbon fiber on the passenger side, plenty of room in the glove box too. Check out these seats. Such a cool factory option to go with. We have the dome lights up top along with the rear view mirror. Now, unfortunately, with this being a very exclusive M4, I will not be getting this one out on the road, but let's jump into an M4 Competition with the adjustable carbon fiber bucket seats, and I'll show you guys what it's like to drive. Obviously, this has about 40 more horsepower, same amount of torque, so very, very similar. Handling characteristics are going to be improved, of course, because it weighs less and it has more horsepower, so it's going to be a little bit of a different feel. But let's hop on some twisty mountain roads in the M4 Competition and see how it drives in general. We're gonna do launch control in this. So you do have to have it in the sport mode, which I already have everything. The traction is shut off. We have it over in the sport mode, but I will not be shifting myself. So with my foot on the brake, let's go. That is the coolest thing with the 2022 BMW M4 is that this is a daily driver that you could just take to work, take to the grocery store or whatever. And then with the push of a few buttons here, you can turn this into that back road, performance driving, track driving vehicle. You can even drift in this if you want to. This is a really, really nice vehicle, and I love the option of these M Sport seats. They're almost $4,000. I would spring for them, you guys, because not only are they power operated, they have heat, they have a lot of adjustments to them. For a sport bucket seat like this, you just don't see that. A lot of them are usually manual adjusting. So the fact that we have these seats is just a huge plus. So now as we switch over to the POV angle for the M4, we're gonna do launch control again so you can see what it's like to be behind the wheel. So I'm gonna go ahead and put it into the sport mode setting where we have DSC off. It's in 4-wheel drive. I'm gonna push on the M mode button here, and if I hold on it, we can go into track mode. So we activate track mode. We have the tack front and center along with what gear we're in, and with my foot on the brake, here we go. That is quick. That is a lot of fun. Whew. And we are up to speed. It tells you that launch control is activated on the heads-up display as well. Wow. You can see too that that center screen went away, so that way you have no distractions. Definitely a lot of fun. I hope you guys enjoyed today's full walk-around review and test drive, getting behind the wheel of the BMW M4 Competition. If you guys enjoyed it, give it a huge thumbs up and consider smashing that subscribe button so you don't miss out on our daily uploads, as well as the rest of the videos that we have coming with this M4. I'll see you guys in the next video.